from the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Love you, man. Way to go, bro. Proud of you, man.
Hey, good job, man. Hell of a job. I got something to share with you guys, all right? JT's 6th 100-yard game of the season. And then check this one out. All-time single-game team record for rushing yards, 335 yards off. Man, the offensive line, the tight ends, the receivers, Anthony, I mean, all of you guys sticking together and fighting through. Hey, we found a way to get the dub. Hey, and we're not done, man. Yeah, do we need some help? We need some help. But we got to come back to work this week, ready to freaking go. Because you never know, man. Guys that have been around this league for a long time, some wild happen. It's some wild, but we got to do our part. We got to do our part. JT, break it down, baby.
Hey, that's the way to fight. Like he said, it doesn't matter about any of the external factors. All we got to do is handle our business each and every single week. Proud of y'all boys. Listen, we're going to enjoy this one, but we got to get ready to go back to work next week. We got to keep fighting, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
How you took that thing, boy? All right, JP.
Colts coming off a divisional victory at home and now back on the road to face the New York Giants. This is Colts 360. I am Lara Overton, joined by head coach Shane Steichen. Great locker room victory speech last Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium. I know you dive in and watch film on everything. Do you critique your own victory speeches?
Not
Do you
really.
Watch them?
I mean, I've seen them every once in a while, but I don't really critique them.
Really? Because that was, I thought it was really strong. Best performance of the year by you coming off that win against Tennessee. And of course, the milestones in that win. Numerous. I mean, the list was this long, but notably, single-game franchise rushing record. Jonathan Taylor eclipses the 1,000-yard mark on the season for the 3rd time in his career. How aware are you of certain milestones in the game, or are they making you aware of certain milestones?
Every once in a while, you hear about them throughout the game. As I said, someone might say something, or you might kind of think about it like, hey, where's he at? You know what I mean? But to have the game that he had, along with everybody else, what they were able to do was phenomenal on the ground.
And I think it's so, what is special about Jonathan is those explosive plays, how he hits those runs. How do you describe really that second level breakaway speed that he has?
Yeah, it's a different level of burst. It really is. There's guys that run fast at a combine, and then there's the game speed fast, and he's got game speed fast when he gets to the second, third level to break away and hit those home runs.
And no coincidence that you get Ryan Kelly back for that game and you have the type of performance by your O-line, right?
Yeah, no doubt. To get a veteran like Ryan Kelly back, who's been here for so long, a leader, a captain for us, it was huge to get him back.
Okay, another milestone for your quarterback. Anthony Richardson passed Andrew Luck for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in single-season franchise history. You still have 2 games to go. How much do you see Anthony establish maybe an even greater level of confidence that permeates his game when you get him going on the
road? There's no doubt about it. Especially when we get down to the red zone, it's like he's got that mentality that he doesn't want to be denied. And the way he runs down there, he runs angry, he runs hard, and he gets in that and he finds that end zone. And he had a hell of a game yesterday.
And I think the Titans defense, I watched a couple of those guys, they just looked around like, what did we just see? What just happened? Like they just kind of had no answer for it at one point in the game. Meanwhile, your own defense came up with 3 interceptions, 2 of those resulting in points by the offense. Something you and I talked about last week coming off the game in Denver was capitalizing on those situations when your defense gets takeaways. How do you replicate the type of complementary performance that you guys were able to have as you go on the road this week?
Yeah, that's huge. Anytime, your defense gets takeaways, obviously that's huge momentum, for your football team. And obviously offense was able to capitalize on those. Obviously Sam got the interception, and then obviously Kenny getting this interception right before half to score right before half, and then be able to double dip because, they got the ball first. We get the ball to start the third quarter. We score right before half. You score 14 unanswered, without them touching is huge.
You face the New York Giants this week, but you've already visited this venue earlier in this season when you played the Jets. How much can you draw upon the experience within that environment, especially in which it's one that Anthony had a game-winning drive in?
Yeah, no, the atmosphere will be similar, but the difference is you'll dress in a different locker room. I think we might be on a different sideline, and it's going to be a lot of blue now instead of green.
That is really interesting. I did not think about that. It's an interesting week, of course, for the New York Giants. Not sure what they're going to do because we're recording this earlier in the week, so not sure what they're going to decide to do at quarterback, but how unique of a weapon is Malik Neighbors within their offense?
Yeah, he's very explosive. Obviously, watching him coming out of the draft, the way he's able to create, run after catch, as explosive as it gets. And then obviously the one-on-one ability that he has. So we got to make sure we know where he's at.
Not only a travel week with the game to New York before the team headed to face the Giants, and also early in the week celebrate Christmas, there were members of the Colts that went to visit some patients at Payton Manning Children's Hospital to carol and spread holiday cheer.
La, 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 la. Hey guys, what's going on? We are at Payton Manning's Children's Hospital today, and we are Christmas caroling to anyone who needs it and sharing some Christmas spirit. Laughing all the way, ha ha ha! Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, la 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 la. We're all learning more and more lyrics as we go per song. For Christmas and a Happy New Year. We all know Santa's coming, we all know that Santa's coming, we all know that Santa's coming, and soon we'll be here. I don't remember this part. I don't know if Santa's coming, guys. What is going on? Mix and a mingle and a jingly beat. That's the jingle bell ride. That's the jingle bell ride. Yeah, okay. Just need practice. It's all about the vibes.
That was not our best.
Now, it was a little rusty at first, and Let It Go was definitely our weak point. So we just found out that Blake knows Frozen word by word, and we absolutely love that. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Feel, don't let them know. And then we dominated after he taught us the lyrics. Let it go, turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. You know what, Blake? That was sick. He's up in his ice tower. He's letting his long hair down in his ice tower, and he just letting it go. Thank you. It's really fun to seeing their smile, but it brings us a smile as well. So it's a wonderful time today.
I mean, when you say that those guys were there and you say that play, you're talking about film study and, the trust that you have in your teammates.
Coming up, Kenny Moore II on his 2 takeaway day as he explains a few familiar fans in the crowd and the impact they've had on his career. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. This message is brought to you by Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, and proud sponsors of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
That's a dub! Big home dubs. Lucas, look, man, that boy JT, defense team wins. Look, we needed that, man. Shout out to the fans for the shoe. We got to keep going, man. Let's keep rolling. Here in Indy, big dub. Got to finish off strong.
Dub secured. Shout out to Indianapolis. Everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Colts coming off a big victory off the division foe, thanks in large part to Kenny Moore II and those 2 interceptions on the day. Kenny, before we get into the game itself last week, I have to say you're kind of the unofficial co-host of Colts 360 because I feel like each and every week there's some bit of Kenny Moore content that's involved. Recently we had the Academy shopping. We've just had all of these different things, Man of the Year, of course, involved. So whether you know it or not, you're basically on the show each and every week if you're at the desk or if you're just appearing in the videos.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I think that's a good problem to have.
All right, tell me about 2 takeaways on the day against the Tennessee Titans. There's no better feeling than finishing with the ball in your hands to seal a game like that, right?
Well, I think this is something that they've been trying to correct over in Tennessee as far as difficulties, having guys being on the wrong page or whatever it is, or miscues. That's something for a defense you get happy about. So you just want them to be consistent in the mistakes and incorrections that they've been having throughout the season. And it was a day that we wanted to take advantage of. Our favorite part was trying to get the offense as many drops as possible. We've been trying to put together a complete game as a team collectively. And yesterday, we had it all come together. We had a little downfall there at the end, but that's something that we can improve.
Hey, take me through that scene once you get a takeaway. At one point, you nearly hurdled a guy, one of the Tennessee guys. Describe for everyone, because not many of us will have an opportunity to get an interception in an NFL game.
That's right.
So from your vantage point, paint that picture.
So as a guy in the secondary, first thing first, you never want the quarterback to know what coverage you're in, what you're doing. Once the quarterback knows what's going on in the back end, it actually helps his progression to who he want to get the ball to. As a guy in the secondary, you want to make it cloudy, make it muddy. You want to give these smoky mirrors to the quarterback for a second for the D-line to get to him. So with that being said, I was trying to make the coverage look like something that it wasn't. I knew I had him once he made a check to his receivers. He made a certain route concept to his right side, our left side of the defense. As soon as I saw that, he thought that, whenever they have a skilled guy at number 3, they're trying to ISO to Mike, which is Z. As soon as I saw the receiver trying to get a certain leverage on Z, he was gonna throw the ball away from Z, but it would be closer to me. It's something that I've been trying to really key up this entire season. A lot of teams have been pumping that throw, surrendering with a sack, or even just dirting it. Detroit, Minnesota, these teams, the Bills, but just trusting the process and just staying patient, trusting the coverage, and just doing what I've been asked to do within this particular coverage. Everything was a success, but having the ball in my hands is always a great moment. It's always an emotional moment because a lot of good got to happen for me to get the ball in my hands. It's not a sense of, a lot of guys, a couple guys in the league, they have 10 interceptions, so people can be numb to, all right, that's an easy thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do as far as having the confidence and trusting your preparation, trusting the coaching, and trusting yourself to be in a spot to, this guy's going to throw the ball. Even if he does or doesn't throw the ball, you got to secure the catch. So after catching the ball, I looked to my left and I was trying to see if, I had some room to go score. I didn't, because I think Calvin really had come back into field of play to tackle me. So I looked right, and so I wanted to cut cross field, and I perceived that the tight end was to my right, and I saw the running back Spears. He was straight ahead, and I really didn't have any room to really juke. I could have maybe hit the sideline to the right, but I would have had to lose yardage to gain as I approached the sideline. But Buck was in the way, and it was a quick game type of throw. So it was all these linemen, just like some guys was on the ground, some guys was up, some guys had retraced to try to go tackle me. So I was trying to jump over the running back as well as trying to hit Buck out of the way. Sorry, Buck. It would have been better if he just gave me a piggyback ride.
He should have.
To the end zone.
He really should have done that for you. Hey, when you said that you've been hunting a play like that all season long, describe the feeling of doing it, because you had a few guys in the stands, guys like Darius Butler, Clayton Geathers, Matthias Farley, doing that with those guys on hand.
When you say that those guys were there and you say that play, you're talking about film study and, the trust that you have in your teammates. I built that foundation with those guys that attended the game yesterday. Seeing them in pregame, it was like seeing ghosts, because I haven't seen them in so long. It was kind of surreal. It made me feel old once. I remember my rookie year, just hearing D-Buck, he was rapping, freestyling on Fridays. Like, if the offense was up and we were just on defense and we were just waiting to be up, I remember him just, freestyling, and I'm just bobbing my head. And I'm not getting any reps. I'm playing special teams at this point. Like, I'm just chilling, watching those guys play. And then now being in year 8 and those guys retired, they come back and they're supporting the Colts. It's crazy. I remember having all the third down meetings, something that I still run. I remember D-Butt, before he left, we were doing the defensive back Thanksgiving giveaway. And certain things like that, or even praying after every practice, or praying before the game, and how we break down the huddle. I do all those same things to this day. So one day, whenever I'm not here anymore, I can pass that torch to, JJ or Juju or something like that, and those guys will be able to keep the torch going. So
that's an incredible imprint, incredible legacy, and also part of your incredible resume to this point. Now, 2-time Colts Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. First time we've got to have you back here in studio since you were recognized as the Colts nominee for that award. How much love did you feel from Lucas Oil Stadium when they announced that in the game against the Titans?
I think that was one of the loudest points of the game, as far as it not being a big play moment. It was cool. I felt the love. I've embraced this city just like they have embraced me and everything that I brought to the city on and off the field. And I like the standpoint of people knowing me, about they know my character. They value the person that I am more than the player that I am. So I think it's deeper than just having third down stops or taking the ball away. It's something that it's something indescribable at this point.
It is truly indescribable, the impact that you have in your locker room, in this community, each and every space that you touch. Kenny, appreciate you being back here in studio and all throughout the season being my unofficial co-host.
For sure, anytime.
But I just want to take this time to highlight how good DeForest Buckner has been for the Colts, the consistency. He's got at least 5 sacks in 7 straight seasons, and he's only a half sack away from 7 sacks in 6 straight years. So, Larry, there's a lot of guys you can point to on defense that you could qualify as defensive MVPs, but I think you have to start first with DeForest Buckner. When he's not on the field, it's a noticeable difference.
Still ahead before we count down to the new year, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, counts down his top plays of 2024. This week's View from the Booth is next on Colts 360.
Snickers Rookie Mistake Program is back again this season. Learn how you could win Super Bowl 59 tickets at snickers.com/NFL. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open to the Indianapolis skyline. Bud Light, the official beer of the Indianapolis Colts. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. When was the last time the Colts played at the Giants and at the Jets in the same season? 2006. In Week 1, the Colts beat the Giants 26-21, and later that season in Week 4 beat the Jets 31-28. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. Again, they feed into the belly of Jonathan Taylor. Big run, breaks it out. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's got one man to beat. He may go 10, 5, touchdown! 65 yards to the house. Jonathan Taylor breaks it open, and the Colts have the lead 13-7. First and 10, outside zone. Big hole for Jonathan Taylor. There he goes again. 50, 40, down the far sideline. He might do it again. 10, 5, touchdown! INDY! That one covers 70 yards. Jonathan Taylor having a monster game in Week 16. Taylor's his back left. 3 receivers bunch left. Ogletree in motion to the right side. They give it to Taylor, and he squeaks across the goal line, untouched, and bows to the crowd. 3 rushing touchdowns today for Jonathan Taylor.
Well, Well, as we are rounding out 2024, of course, New York City and Times Square is always the hub of activity and a countdown to the upcoming year in 2025. And as the Colts head to New York to face the Giants, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, is here as our view from the booth caps off 2024 with your top plays, starting with number 4.
There you go. The countdown is on here. So these are the best plays for the Colts in 2024. I want to go back a couple of games ago against the Denver Broncos. How about DeForest Buckner? Got a huge sack on Bo Nix. It's not going to be like a highlight play in terms of making SportsCenter or things like that, but I just want to take this time to highlight how good DeForest Buckner has been for the Colts. The consistency. He's got at least 5 sacks in 7 straight seasons, and he's only a half sack away from 7 sacks in 6 straight years. So, Larry, there's a lot of guys you can point to on defense that you could qualify as defensive MVPs, but I think you have to start first with DeForest Buckner. When he's not on the field, it's a noticeable difference. That's just how good he is up front.
A model of consistency, not only for the defense, but for this locker room. As we turn the page, we go into your top 3, and we're going to take an offensive focus.
Yeah, let's go back about a month ago now, right before the bye, I should say. The Colts at the Patriots. The Colts score a touchdown late, under a minute to go, to pull within 1, and Shane Steichen right on cue goes, "Boys, we're going for 2." Flashes up the deuce, puts the ball into the hands of his dynamic quarterback, Anthony Richardson, crams across the goal line. The Colts go for 2, end up winning that game by 1 point. First time in Colts history they win a game by going for 2, taking the lead late in the game with under a minute to go. That was one of the more exciting plays so far this year for the Colts.
It just shows the confidence, too, that Shane has in his quarterback as the play caller. The entire team has in him because of plays that he started the season with, like your number 2.
Yeah, great segue. Let's go back. Week number 1, one of the earliest possessions this year for the Colts. It's Anthony Richardson on a drop back. He slips on the turf and finds his composure and still lofts the ball downfield perfectly to Alec Pierce, a 60-yard bomb. Just a beautiful play. It was the first touchdown of the year for the Colts, by the way, on offense, and it set the tone for Alec Pierce. Career high 645 receiving yards this year, and still leads the NFL in yards per catch at 22.2.
And I feel like David Letterman here, counting down, much anticipated. Number 1 overall play. It's a recent one, right?
You know where we're going. Yeah, just a couple of days ago at home, Lucas Oil Stadium against the Tennessee Titans. Jonathan Taylor ripping off his second big run of the day. 70 yards to the house, breakaway speed. He had a 65-yarder in the first half. Then on the first play of the third quarter, he goes 70 to the distance, right to the house, and 218 yards rushing, over 1,000 yards rushing for the third time in his career.
Hey, great stuff. Appreciate you, my friend. Great way to wrap up 2024. Thanks for spending part of your holiday weekend with us, getting ready for game day on Colts 360. We'll be back in here next week with an all-new show.